I have been a gluten-free food blogger for over 12 years, and this is my tested and perfected gluten-free pie crust recipe for all your Thanksgiving pies. When I say tested and perfected, I mean it. I have tested and retested this recipe so many times, and today I'm sharing all of my tips with you. My first tip is to weigh the dry ingredients. The secret to this pie crust is also using this egg, water, vinegar mixture that my grandma always used in her pie crust. I've also found this crust works best when you freeze the butter and hand grate it. Use a higher quality butter here because it does make a difference. Use your hands to toss the butter into the flour mixture. This recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of frozen shortening. Shortening is like the insurance that your pie crust will hold its shape. The shortening is a little softer than the butter, so just evenly disperse it with your fingers. Then we're going to add 2 tablespoons at a time of that egg, vinegar, water mixture. Something about that little bit of extra protein from the egg plus the vinegar makes the most tender, flaky, gluten-free pie crust. Do not be tempted to add too much liquid here. You will need to work the dough together with your hands a bit. Then wrap up the dough and refrigerate it for 1 hour before rolling out. I like to bake my gluten-free pies on a pizza steel to ensure that the bottom gets golden brown. I also like to roll out my pie crust on this silicone mat. Don't be surprised if your pie crust cracks a little bit as you roll it out. You can just push it back together with your hands. I highly recommend using a metal pan for your gluten-free pies. I know they're not as pretty as ceramic or glass pans, but they conduct heat much better. Once the crust is shaped, you'll freeze it for 15 minutes before baking, then line it with parchment paper and pie weights. Make sure you use enough pie weights and really press them into the edges. I've included instructions for both par baking and fully baking the crust. Look at that golden bottom. This crust is flaky, buttery, golden, everything you want. Find the recipe on my website.